Today, we will be replacing the stock airbox and air intake boot with an APS cold air intake system. Let's get started. Using a 12mm socket in every extension I have, remove the two bolts located at the bottom of the airbox. Using a flathead screwdriver or an 8mm socket, loosen the clamp and remove the upper cover. Now we can remove the stock air filter and the lower case. Take a 12mm socket and remove the nut holding the resonator chamber assembly to the fender. Try to not lose the nut somewhere in the engine bay. To get under the fender, we need to jack up the car. Place the jack stand under the car for safety. Push the inner fender liner over the clip so we can remove the air intake resonator chamber assembly. The bottom of it has been cut off. Is this a modification? Using a 12mm socket, remove the two bolts holding down the air intake duct and take it out. This isn't necessary, but it frees up some space for us. Insert the intake tube into the fender wall. It's a tight fit, so you might have to twist it into place. There's a bracket that bolts into the fender and intake that will help secure the intake in place. That did not come with my intake, so we'll skip that. With the intake tube in place, we can now connect the air intake boot to the intake tube and turbo inlet hose using the 8mm socket for the clamps. Now we can install the K&N intake filter that is already oiled and ready to go. Push the filter up into the fender and connect it to the intake tube. Once the intake is on, we can take a flathead screwdriver to tighten the clamp, securing the filter to the intake tube. The filter is now in place. We can clip the inner fender liner back to the front bumper. We don't need to be under the car anymore, so we can remove the jack stands and let the car down. We still want air to flow into the fender since that's where the intake is drawing from. So let's reinstall the stock air intake duct using a 12mm socket to secure the two bolts into place. Let's try it out. Let's compare the stock intake to the new one. It's debatable as to how much horsepower you gain, but what is for certain is the increased airflow noises. You can hear the engine breathing louder. You should replace your stock intake air filter about every 15,000 miles or about once a year. The K&N filter will go for about 50,000 miles before it needs to get cleaned out and re-oiled. Not only is this a performance upgrade, but it's a maintenance upgrade too. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that. If you found this video useful, give this video a like and subscribe for more Subaru content. See you in the next video. Bye.